I guess it's otherwise, I guess I was I'm here to give you guys a movie review, which is basically called Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch. Now, I will be giving you guys some spoilers in this movie. You guys have been warned. So I wanted just to give you guys my opinions about the movie and why was Captain Grunt, whatever his name is, was not added in this movie. I was going to make a separate video on that, but I decided not to. And I'm also going to make another video because I think there is a second movie supposed to be coming out. I don't know when. I'm not really 100% sure if Disney really actually said like if there's gonna be a second movie or not. I really do not know, and just to see if that really is gonna happen or not. So I really don't know. So yeah, anyway, so let's start with this review. So, based on the Lilo and Stitch movie, it's not as controversial as basically the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs live-action movie. I have to watch it, to watch that movie because I really have not seen it. I have not seen it because a lot of people say the movie was just a tragedy and stuff like that, and it just really actually was. I have to go watch that watch that movie and just to see for myself. I would personally say the Lilo and Stitch movie. I understand that some of the criticism and stuff like that. Some of the movies that basically the movie that's released has gotten. Some people call it a travesty. Some people call it like it didn't really follow it didn't really follow much of the things basically into the movie, and basically it's just really. I really don't know. So I just, like I said, I really don't know. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is basically the family of Nami and also Leo also well too. I think they were basically a very good pick. I definitely do think that they were. I think it was a very good selection of those to basically be into the movie. I don't think there was nothing really wrong with it and stuff like that, and because I think the acting was also very good. I think the script, the voice acting was just a little bit off, not really that much, because I can feel there's like just a little bit hesitation, basically into the movie. Not really a lot, just a little bit, and that's what it kind of basically feels to me. It basically feels to me because you can see like if you follow their eyes and basically what they're doing, it's basically the stuff, and you can just see. Basically, really actually is. The movie does feel like it's kind of like a live action movie. It feels like a real life basically of a situation. That's what it basically feel like. But to be honest with you, it just didn't feel a little too right basically of that. That's not a negative for me, but I think I definitely think that basically the movie of itself. Maybe they probably got distracted a little bit and stuff like that. I personally want to say here is that I definitely do like the actors basically in this movie, especially Stitch. I want to talk about Stitch. Stitch was basically was really very very good. What Disney really made him and stuff like that. And I think that the images and stuff like that, basically what they did for Stitch, basically in the movie was very very good. Very, very good. But I also want to say this also well too, and I want people to really understand that Stitch doesn't seem like he's like really not acting like himself most of the time, because usually when you basically watch the original movie of Stitch, because you see Stitch like basically just go and wreck things and try to destroy things and stuff like that, but you don't see that very, very much into the movie, which I think that is a good thing to me. I definitely do think it really actually is. Some people may think that is not really a bad thing, but I don't want people to really think that Stitch likes to destroy things. It's because that he's learning how to adapt. Because that's where you have Leo kind of steps in and she kind of like helps him out basically in this movie. Now I want people to really also understand is that this Leo and Stitch movie, this is not the second movie. The second movie was based on the cartoon version of the movie, which is called Lilo and Stitch 2. Stitch got a glitch where Stitch, basically got a glitch or something wrong with Stitch, and Stitch just go crazy, go evil, or something like that. And basically stuff like that. I have to rewatch it, but I have to rewatch that movie, and I'll probably think about maybe rewatching the Stitch movie also well too. Now I also want to talk about the soundtrack based off the movie also well too. The soundtrack based in the movie was really good. Listening to the music, listening to the Elvis songs and stuff like that, especially the ending song was very good also as well too, because I think it really was. It basically really was. Now one thing I want to put on, for people to really to understand also as well too, that which I'm happy they explain this in the movie. I don't know if they really explain it in the first one, because excuse me, basically they were saying basically the alien woman who's basically is based that she's the leader of the galactic empire of her or something like that, or aliens or something like that. One thing she said that when Stitch was about to go to a different planet, which basically has water and stuff like that. Basically, our planet basically has a lot of water. We do have land and stuff like that. But anyways, so they land. So Stitch pretty much land on Hawaii, but they were hoping that Stitch would land into the water. However, the reason why that basically being said, because I don't think they really did not say it basically in the first movie, but in this movie that they said that Stitch is heavy, means that Stitch cannot swim. He cannot swim. It does not mean that Stitch doesn't like water or anything like that. It's just mainly because he's heavy. And maybe because he's heavy. Now I don't know why Stitch doesn't like water basically in the first movie. Maybe he just doesn't like the water. Maybe he just didn't think that it's uncomfortable for him. Maybe it just doesn't feel right for him. Maybe it's just something that he really did not like basically of that. But if you look, if you basically go into the movies, and you see the movie for yourself, you see the movie where Stitch, like I said before, that he's heavy, he can't swim because he cannot really swim, because it makes it impossible for him, for someone to basically pick him up. However, that's not really basically the case, because Nami basically in the movie, excuse me, basically into the movie where she basically goes and try to pick him up, but she had a hard time trying to pick him up. But if you also look closer into the movie also as well too, you can see Stitch is just sitting on the ground, sitting on the sand. I don't think the water was really deep. I think it's kind of like a shadowing basic kind of place. I think it really was, because the only thing I can think that what Navi was just trying to pick up, I don't think it was Stitch that she was trying to pick up. I think she was trying to pick up a heavy rock to make it look like it's Stitch is basically actually is, because Stitch looks like a kind of like a boulder, not really big, but if you were to put that into the water, it would probably stay there, because it would not float, because rocks don't float. Rocks just pretty much just go down to the bottom. That's kind of like with Stitch, in a way. But Stitch can swim? He can try, but he can't. But you have to understand, because the way that he is, because his genetic base of his body, and that's just how he really basically actually is. Basically actually is. I do like the dialogue between Leo and Stitch and stuff like that. But one other problem I definitely want to say here is that this is my opinion. But I personally want to say this. I find that Leo is basically, she screams a couple of times in the movie. I kind of find that a little annoying also as well too, because I don't know why this screaming need to be happen basically in the movie, because she really doesn't scream all that much basically in the first movie. I don't know. I have to check it out. I really don't know. But it's nothing really bad. But it's just that I find it kind of annoying, because she screams basically in the movie, because it kind of really hurts my ears and stuff like that. And I've heard several people say that it was hurting their ears also well too, because of her screaming and stuff like that. I think the movie overall was not the best movie I've seen, but I definitely do think it's a rewatch for me, and I definitely do think that this movie could profit really a lot of money also as well too. Now I also want to talk about the trio, not Lilo and Stitch, but the trio based off the alien guys, where they basically go after and try to get Stitch. I think the CGI was kind of off to me. I don't think they was not really made really right to me, because that's just what I definitely do think. They look cool on the screen, but because the images based on their eyes just didn't really match really all that well. I mean, that's personally in my opinion. That's basically what I definitely do think, and because I just think that it just really didn't look really too right, and basically stuff like that. And now, one thing I definitely wanted to talk about, I think that is basically the big elephant in the room, is not Doctor, excuse me, Captain Gunda or Gorga, whatever you want to call him. He's the big kind of whale kind of guy, or shark, whatever you want to call him. He's a big guy. He's a really huge alien. And for some reason why they decided not to put him into the movie. Now, if you go on Twitter, if you go on Twitter or X, whatever you want to say, if you go on there, you'll see from a I can't remember the name of the website, not the website, the Twitter. Excuse me. On there, is that they say like releases of movies and stuff like that, and basically, what they were saying that the director decided not to put him basically into the movie because the CGI was going to be very expensive, because they have to debate it whether or not to put him basically into the movie. Some people say that Disney didn't really care, or they just did not really want to put him basically into the movie. It's basically because of the budget based off to the budget based off the movie, because the director didn't want to really spend really a whole lot of money to make the movie, and just to put it basically that way. If I was the director, I would have done the same thing, because that would basically would help him out really a lot. And I think a lot of people should really understand. But yes, I definitely do agree. I definitely do agree, based on the fact that yes, he should have been added into the movie. But I understand money is everything, basically, when it comes to making movies with Disney and other different companies also too, because CGI is very, very expensive. It's very, very expensive. Sometimes CGI needs to be added, but sometimes it really doesn't. It just really depends on the movie. It really actually is. I definitely do think that it was a very good movie. I definitely do think it really was. Now, there's one little hint based into the movie I do want to talk about into the movie, which kind of surprised me. If you look closely based into the movie, where basically she goes to basically her first job. She works for a restaurant. It's like a touring place for a restaurant or something like that. And so, like when you see the movie in Stitch, like Lilo and Stitch is basically, excuse me, and you basically see Lilo and Stitch basically they're being babysitted basically in the restaurant, and basically there's the boss basically in the movie, the Lilo and Stitch movie. If you look closely at his face, you probably recognize who he really actually is. I have not seen him in a long time, and the thing about this is basically that it's the guy who plays in the Jungle Book. Back then, it was a live action Jungle Book, and he also played Bruce Lee. The live action movie film of Bruce Lee also too, which is basically the legend of Bruce Lee, or whatever you want to say, or something like that. Trust me, he was there in the movie. Because I recognized his look and stuff like that. I was going, oh my god. I can't believe he's in this movie and stuff like that. But even though I think it was a good fit for him to basically be in the movie, because I definitely think there was some Asian actors and other different actors also basically into the movie also as well too. And like I said before, I definitely do like the fact of Leo and her sister were basically kind of like resemblance based on family, and I definitely do like that. And one thing I definitely do like about the sisters and stuff like that, and basically how they argue. They don't argue really a whole lot, but I really love the fact based in the movie where basically, LILO's sister, Nami, basically she spends a lot of time with her and sings a song and stuff like that. And it's basically kind of like a mother figure, basically, which is basically too. But I will say this also as well too. And I don't like this really at all, but this is okay for me. That where basically LILO has to be taken away from her sister. I don't like that really much at all because I think that it's something. I just kind of find it's not right, basically to me. But it's not really a big deal. It's not a major big deal. It's not. But I think that. But I basically definitely think that the reason why basically because of that, because basically because that. Because so she can live next door to her sister and go to her grandma's place, which I think that it's okay, but I don't like the fact because I think the sister would basically be a good pick for her to take care of her sister. But when you go to basically in the Stitch movie where she does not get taken away, now that also brings in also as well too. Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles was supposed to be the social worker. However, he's not really basically a social worker. He's basically a CIA guy, and I kind of like that really a lot. I really do. I definitely think that was a good approach for me in the movie. I definitely do think it was. Some people probably would disagree with me with that. I definitely do think it was a good interest based into the movie. I definitely do think it really was. There's nothing really wrong with it or anything like that, but I definitely do think it was a very good fit to have Mr. Bubbles to be CIA because he was a former CIA because in Stitch movie because looking for aliens and stuff like that. Now also the caseworker also too, which basically is a woman, which is basically she's more reasonable than Mr. Bubbles in Stitch because I think that she makes a great fit to be in the caseworker because she's not as harsh as Bubbles, but when you're a social worker and stuff like that, or a caseworker, or whatever you are, you have to do your job and you have to say what needs to be done. Because if you don't, then she can get fired or he can get fired and stuff like that. So, yeah, I do apologize for my phone's going off right here. I do apologize that. I should turn it off. But anyways, I think the movie was definitely good. I did definitely think it was beautiful. It really was. And I don't see this being a major catastrophe. There are some criticisms based in the movie. But if I had to get a rating of this movie, I definitely would give it a 9 out of 10. I definitely do like the movie. It's really good. I am going to buy the movie on Blu-ray or for DVD because I really want to get it. And I'll probably just keep it as for a collection. I'm probably not going to watch it or anything like that. Probably just keep it as for a collection. So yeah. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of this movie review. Tell me what you guys think. You guys like this movie? You guys don't like this movie? What is you guys' thoughts of the characters and whatnot was in, or some of the changes that were made that Disney really wanted to do, or the director based on himself? And could there be a sequel? Could be coming? I hope so, which I think it probably will be confirmed, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, anyways, since I'm not saying, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, or give me a thumbs down. Doesn't matter to me. And please leave me comments below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. We hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Love you. I love you guys. Please safe. And remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.